Everybody to Agent Investor. I'm your host, Tom Caffarella. Agent Investor, we are the only brand that helps real estate agents get off the real estate roller coaster by following what I call the Agent Investor model. The Agent Investor model is a pretty simple thing. With the Agent Investor model, there are three things that we do. Number one, as real estate agents, I'm a real estate agent. I've got a brokerage with over 400 agents in it. We sell homes to earn a living. We sell homes to pay our bills, number one. Number two, we fix and flip homes to generate big chunks of income, 40, 50, $100,000 at a time, to then do step three, which is to invest in passive assets, whether those are assets that we own, whether they're somebody else's assets that give us a really good rate of return in order to generate $5, $10, $15, $20,000 or more of passive income coming in each and every month from our investments. Why do we do that? Why do we want 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 or even more passive income coming in each and every month? Well, as somebody who is a licensed real estate agent, I've been licensed for almost 20 years now, got licensed in 2005. I know what it's like to be a real estate agent. Real estate agents work, right? Nights, they work weekends. We have a really, really tough job. Real estate agents are also beholden a little bit to the market, right? We've had a really tough time in the past few years with inventory. A lot of real estate agents across the country, their sales numbers are down, not because we haven't put the work in, but because the market hasn't really been that great for transactions. Real estate agents have a tough time letting go and firing the clients that we know we need to get rid of. Why? Because we need the money. And real estate agents are always what I call being on the real estate roller coaster. We never necessarily know when our next check is coming in. We could have 2 really, really strong months, and then we could go 3 months without a sale. So we teach and preach the agent investor model, not to get real estate agents to think about stop selling real estate, but to get guaranteed monthly passive income coming in so that you don't just rely on one source of income. So most of you know about the partnership program that I've been talking about and I've rolled out over the last year. We're currently partnering with about 1 agent per week, where we put up the money, do the construction, and flip profits 50-50 just by an agent finding us a fix and flip deal. Now, going back to the agent investor model, where we highly suggest that agents sell real estate for a living, fix and flip for big chunks of income that they can then invest in passive assets. Well, a lot of agents don't have the money to do deals, or they don't have the construction expertise. That's where we come in. We put up all the money, we do all the construction, and then split the profits 50-50. Our average fix and flip profit is $80,000, which means the average check that we are cutting to a real estate agent that refers us to a fix and flip opportunity is $40,000. You do 2 or 3 of those with us in a year, and you've earned 6 figures just by referring us deals. So when most people hear about this opportunity, they get excited because it's really a win-win. It's a win for our company, and it's a win for the agent, and it can be a win for the sellers that the agents work with. Having said that, most agents don't come across a ton of these deals every year. And in fact, what I kind of, teach and preach and talk about a lot is that most real estate agents are going to be lucky to come up with one of these in a year if they're not taking a more proactive approach and not really knowing where to look. So every single week, I host a agent partnership webinar, a live webinar that you can register for if you want to learn more about our partnership program at www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. And I get 40 or 50 new people per week that jump on that call all over the country that want to learn about our partner program and get excited about our partner program, but most of them never do a deal with us. And why is that? Because most of the deals that agents come across are hidden in plain sight. And that's the topic for today. The topic for today is how can agents come across 2 to 4 deals that are right in front of their face, that they're missing, right? And why are they missing these deals? Why are they missing 2 to 4 deals per year, which could result in $100,000 of passive income that could then be invested into a syndication or as a down payment on the ownership of an asset? And in most cases, it's because of the training, right? There hasn't been training done in order to do this. And most people haven't taken the next step to say, geez, I want to participate in this partner program. I then need to do something in order to get deals, right? And again, we talk to countless agents per week that are interested in this program. They get all excited and they think it's just going to kind of happen, miraculously. Like they're going to automatically come across a fix and flip opportunity without putting in a lot of thought into it. And generally, it doesn't work that way. I hope that's not true for you. I hope that great fix and flip opportunities just come knocking on your door, and then they come knocking on my door. That would make my life a lot easier, would make your life a lot easier. But today I'm going to talk about how to find those opportunities, those 2 to 4 opportunities per year that you can find without really spending a lot more of additional time, without spending a lot more of additional resources, money, time, whatever. And how do you kind of stay aware of this program throughout the year when you get busy, when you've got other stuff going on? And so that's what we're going to focus on today. So I've got a few different things that I want to cover on that note. And the first, again, how do you come across these 2 to 4 deals that might be hitting in plain sight? The first one is your very own listing appointments, right? So how could you potentially miss this type of opportunity on your own listing appointment? Well, there could actually be a lot of ways that you might miss this type of opportunity on your own listing appointment. The most common one is that the agent makes an assumption that a seller may not be interested in a cash offer, which, our company goes on over 100 seller appointments per week. And in addition to going over 100 of our own appointments per week, we go on appointments with agents as well. And I can tell you so many different stories of sellers who I misjudged, who I thought might not be interested in a cash offer, that have converted into a cash offer deal. And one of the previous episodes, I talked about all the different reasons why sellers may be interested in getting an easier sales process, not necessarily putting their house on the market and just getting a guaranteed number and a guaranteed sales date. But overlooking your own appointments is probably the number one reason why agents do not come across as many opportunities as they think. So within that, my advice to you is to look at this kind of a little bit differently. Rather than you trying to determine what your seller wants or getting some sort of idea of what they may want before going on the appointment, my advice is to always give both options, right? There is absolutely nothing wrong with giving a cash offer. In fact, if you present it the right way, you should actually be giving the seller more value, right? Because you are an agent with investor resources who can sell your client's house. You can get it on the market. You can make sure that it's in great condition. It has beautiful pictures. It has open houses. It attracts the most amount of buyers. You can promote the heck out of it. And that process, which is going to be a little bit harder for you and a little bit harder for the seller, is almost always going to produce the highest net dollar amount. But by offering them this other alternative where they're not going to have to get the house ready for sale, they're not going to have to fix anything, they're not going to have open houses, they're going to be able to pick their own closing date, you're giving them a second option that they can choose whether or not they value the easier sales process, right? So you're not going in there, making a predetermined, decision. And the other thing I want to just say about your own listing appointments that can come to fruition, and if you've been an agent for long enough, you've kind of seen this. There are times when a client seller decides that they want to put their property on the market. They want to get their home ready for sale. They want to try to bid it out. And there's nothing wrong with that. 80 to 90% of all sellers are going to want to go that route. But then they get to a point in a transaction where maybe they had a tough inspection, or maybe they got tired of waiting for an offer, where they then decide, hey, you know what? I might be more interested in this cash offer. And if you don't present that as an option out of the gate, they kind of don't even know that it exists. So, as you probably all know, I've said this time and time again, like we will go on face-to-face seller appointments with agents. We'll go on any seller appointment with an agent as long as it's in New England. We do buy houses all across the country, but specifically in New England, if you have an appointment where a seller is willing to meet and at least entertain an offer, doesn't mean they have to take our offer, but if they want to just know what a cash offer might look like. And by the way, almost every seller does want to know that. They want to know, like, hey, if a cash offer buyer comes out and they make me an offer and I don't have to pay a commission, or maybe I do pay a commission or a smaller commission or a discounted commission, and I don't have to get my house readying, I don't have to deal with inspections, and I don't have to have an open house sign out in front of my house. Yeah, I would like to know, what that number would look like. Why not? Right? So done the right way, and we go on a ton of these appointments every week, your own listing appointments can be a source for a lot of agents of getting maybe one, maybe two deals per year. But if you're only presenting the cash offer to a small fraction of your clients, you're going to miss out on some that you may have misjudged. And it's easy to misjudge. And I've told tons of stories on sellers that I thought, in my opinion, why would you take a cash offer, but they ended up taking it? Okay. So that's number one, hitting in plain sight. Number two, co-bros. Okay. So other agents, when it comes to finding deals, can absolutely be your biggest resource. Hey guys, there's a reason why the name of our brand is Agent Investor, right? Agents are my best friends when it comes to getting deals, right? It's why I'm talking right now, literally why I'm recording this right now. But you guys have tons of co-broke and other agent relationships that I don't have, right? I only scratched the surface. I would love it if every agent in the United States knew about me, knew who I was, and would contact me anytime they have a deal. The reality is that I don't, and I won't, and I never will, right? I've got a very small market share of agents who know who I am, know what I do, and will reach out to me when they have a deal. You are also in that same position, right? You're also in that same position, especially if you do a lot of transactions or you've been in the business for a while, where having these conversations with other agents is going to bring you deals. How many will it bring you in a year? Hard to say. You might get one deal a year just by talking to other co-bros about what you're looking for. And, the other part of this isn't just, telling them, but what is in it for them? Like, what's the benefit? Like, if you talk to a co-broke, you're working on a deal, a traditional retail deal, what is the reason why a co-broke might want to bring you an investment opportunity? Well, there can be many ways that you can work out, a beneficial deal for them. But in most cases, the two biggest benefits that they're going to get if they go on a listing appointment and they come across a house that looks like it's a good fix and flip candidate, the most obvious two reasons for them to reach out to you rather than to reach out to somebody else is, number one, you're not going to co-broke the deal. At least I would encourage you to not co-broke the deal. And that agent gets the full 3, 4, 5, 6%, whatever they were charging for the listing, right? The second thing that agent gets, that co-broke, that agent that gets, is that they don't have to take the property to market, right? So they avoid a lot of the same hustle and bustle that the seller might be looking to avoid. They don't have to get the house, set up. They don't have to host open houses. They don't have to, deal with offers and, multiple different agents. It's a seamless transaction for them. And then for their client, if they want a guaranteed sale, and I'll try to be, I'll try to be as nice about this as I can, but why would they want to try to sell it to another investor when we're the most guaranteed investor that they could sell to, especially in New England, right? So if you think about that, they put the property on the MLS. Our offer is probably going to be similar to another investor. Well, what investor do you want to sell to? What investor would that seller want to sell to? Is it an investor who maybe is trying to do their first fix and flip, or an investor like us, who's the biggest fix and flip company in New England, who's fix and flip over 1,500 houses, right? So it's in their client's best interest as well. Okay. So again, we're talking about how to find deals in plain sight, right? Opening up conversations with co-bros. We talked about your own listing appointments. Number 3 is your social media. Okay. So I know that not every agent does a great job at this. I try to do a pretty good job at this myself. I'm not perfect at it, but if you go to my personal Facebook account, which you can go to at Tommy Caffarella, if you want to kind of see what I do to try to find deals, go to TOMMY and then my last name, CAFARELLA. I would suggest you follow me anyways if you're interested in this stuff. I post a lot of content, agent investor related content anyways. But take a look down my profile and how much I'm posting about looking for deals, how much I'm posting about this stuff. Do you know? Yeah, I'm an agent myself. I'm a broker owner. But do you know that I'm an investor looking for fix and flip opportunities? And I know for a lot of people, they struggle with this. They don't post as much as they want to. They don't add as many people to their network as they want to. And this should be done no matter what. Like if you're a real estate agent, if you're in sales, forget about whether or not you want to find fix and flip opportunities. You need to be growing your social media account every day. The number one social media account to grow in 2024 is Facebook. Has the most eyeballs on it, is, in my opinion, the best one to use. If another, platform is working better for you, use that. But I think Facebook personally is the best. By utilizing Facebook every day, Facebook will allow you to add 20, 25 friends a day. In 2024, there's no reason why you shouldn't have 5,000 friends within a short period of time, right? So if you do the math, let's say that Facebook allows you to add 25 people a day. Within a year, you should have close to 5,000 friends. And, who you pick to add, that's a different conversation. That's based on your own strategy. I know for me, when I look to add agents, I'm looking to add top producing agents that have a lot of listings in my market. That's my target. For you, whoever that is, could be a little bit different. But if you are not adding 15 or 20 people a day to your social media account and then posting 2 or 3 times per week on your social media account, you're probably missing at least one deal per year. I mean, that's probably, if I'm really being honest with you, that's probably my number one lead generation source. People see my content on Facebook. Yeah, somebody might find it annoying, and I sometimes find it annoying that I have to post as much as I do. But for those that find it annoying, maybe they unfollow me, but I keep adding more people. More people see my message. And then eventually, when somebody comes across a great opportunity, I hope that they reach out to me. Most of your clients and agents that you co-broke with right now do not know that you're looking for deals because you've never told anybody. And I'm sure you've all heard the saying, don't be a secret, don't be a secret agent. It's the same thing with investing. Don't be a secret agent investor. If people don't know that you're looking for deals, like, social media is the best way to do it, right? It's the number one easiest way to do it. And, I've got whatever it is. If you go on my personal Facebook profile, I think I have somewhere around 7,500 followers. Looking to add to that, every day. But if I do a post that's somewhat intriguing, I'll get 3,000 or 4,000 views, right? How else can I get 3,000 or 4,000 people that kind of know me, at least kind of know me, seeing what I'm looking for, each and every day? So utilize social media the right way, or at least for starters, start utilizing it, period. Okay, the next one, in plain sight, how can you find deals in plain sight? Open houses, right? If you're hosting open houses, especially in this market right now, you're going to get 20 or 30 or 40 agents sometimes walking in the door. And yeah, I know that you probably can't have conversations with all of them, but you could have something as simple as when you walk in, like a We Buy Houses sign, or you could hand out a pamphlet to all the agents. right? Maybe you feel comfortable doing that. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just have one-to-one conversations with agents. If you're just sitting there and you're knee deep in a conversation with an agent, kind of just shooting the breeze while their client's looking around, you should absolutely be having this conversation, right? Hey, yeah, I know this is off topic, but do you ever come across any, properties that need a ton of work that might be flippable, right? The benefit to you is, if I buy it, I'm not going to co-broke it. You're going to make the full commission. I love a crack at anything that you come across. And it's really as simple as that, right? And that leads me to my next point about finding this, finding the deals that are hitting in broad daylight, which is that part of this is being methodical about it and having a scorecard and measuring yourself every week. I'm not done talking about how to find deals hitting in plain sight, but everything I've mentioned so far, if you're going to plan on doing it and you're going to do it on a weekly basis, you need to be tracking what you're trying to accomplish each and every week, right? If you decide that, hey, I'm going to add 20 people to my social media account every week and I'm going to post 3 times a week, well, every week you need to be actually looking at that data and making sure that you do it, right? So you can use a simple Excel spreadsheet for that. I follow I follow a methodology called EOS traction. You can get the book, you can Google it, but basically, I use a program that every single week I have to input my numbers, and this is something that you should be doing as an agent, anyways. Like if you're not looking at your activities every week and looking at your numbers every week, you don't know whether you're on track. But all of this stuff, like if you're going to implement it, if you want to find 2 to 4 deals per year, you've got to look and say, well, what am I going to do? Like what percentage of my listing appointments am I offering a cash offer on, right? In my opinion, your target should be 100%. What percentage am I co-brokes, or how many co-brokes this week did I tell that I'm looking to buy houses? How many posts did I do on social media? How many friends did I add on social media this week? How many agents did I talk to at open houses, right? Each and every week, you want to make sure you're measuring these metrics. By the way, everything that I talked about so far should take you almost really no additional time. Well, I shouldn't say none, but minimal. All of the stuff that I've talked about so far should be less than an hour a week. Now, again, less than an hour a week to find 2 to 4 deals per year. What do the numbers look like on this? Because I want to bring it back to like why this is important, right? I talked in the beginning, what's the agent investor model? Sell houses to make a living, right? Maybe I hope that you sell more houses than the money that you need. But in general, most agents are going to sell the amount of houses based on their living expenses, right? Do these fix and flips, they generate big chunks of income, right? You don't have to partner with us. If you're interested in partnering with us and you want to learn more, make sure you jump on one of my upcoming calls at www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. But if you partner with us, again, we're going to put up the money, we're going to do the construction, and then we're going to split the profits 50-50. If you did even 3 of these deals per year, and the average fix and flip profit that we're doing now is 80 grand, $40,000 times 3, that means you're going to make $120,000 per year. Why is that so important? Well, besides the fact that $120,000 is a lot of money, that's kind of like found money that you can then use to invest in a passive asset. What can you turn that $120,000 into? Depending on what market you're in, depending on what assets you buy, that $120,000 can be used as a down payment on an asset that might make you $1,000 to $1,500 per month, right? That's $12,000 to $18,000 per year, right? How many of those assets do you need to own to be financially free and not have to sweat out how many houses you sell per year? That's what this is all about, right? It's not about doing a deal with us, one deal with us. It's not about making 40 grand. Yeah, that stuff is awesome, but it's about getting yourself into a financial position where you don't need to work anymore, or you can work when you want, however you want. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you follow this model, it'll absolutely happen at some point in time. So again, we talked about how to find these deals in plain sight. We talked about your listing appointments. We talked about co-brokes. We talked about social media. What about your own database? Okay. Of course, if you're an agent, you should have your own database with names, phone numbers, emails, and addresses, right? Are you letting your clients know via email or text or Facebook message or mail that you're looking to buy homes? I can promise you that somebody in your sphere of influence that doesn't know that you're looking to buy houses will know somebody who's looking to sell a beat up property or an inherited property. And whether they tell you or not, they may not, because they may not even know that you deal with those types of properties, right? They may think, well, it's a fix and flip house. My best friend who's an agent only lists really nice houses, so I'm not going to even tell them about this deal. So your database is just another way. And we talked about the metrics and measuring the metrics and all that good stuff. How often and how are you telling the people in your sphere that you're also looking for fix and flip opportunities? Okay. Another way to find deals, hitting in plain sight. If you are buying leads, if you're buying, say, like a home valuation lead, right? Those leads where you buy them, they're kind of like pay-per-click or Facebook. There's a whole bunch of different companies that sell them. And, you know, the call to action will be like, click this button to find out what your home is worth. A lot of agents buy these leads. They're technically seller leads. I mean, they're people that want to know the value of their home. We bought a whole bunch of properties from these types of leads, right? These leads are fairly inexpensive. But my point is, if you're already buying these leads, don't just say, hey, you know, here's the value of your home. Hey, here's the value of your home, and this is what a cash offer might look like. Hey, I know that you're considering selling your property. Yes, I can come out there and give you a listing proposal, and I'll do that, but I can also give you a cash offer. And that goes for other leads too, even buyer leads, right? I don't know the percentage. I've been told the percentage, but there's a very high percentage of people that are buyer leads that also own homes. So are you letting all of your buyer leads also know, hey, if you own a home, I can not only give you a listing proposal, show you what it would look like if you listed your house with me, but also give you a cash offer. So those are kind of all the ways that agents can find opportunities, 2 to 4 opportunities in a year, kind of hidden in plain sight. You know, I talked about the fact that you have to be consistent with the stuff, which is why you need to measure it, why you need to report it every single week, and give yourself an honest evaluation of how you're doing, right? If you are serious about following this model, you don't need to overhaul everything that you do, but you do need to spend like an hour a week, right? I mean, we're not talking about doing anything dramatic here. Nothing that I just said is going to take that much more time, right? It's just going to take a consistent effort every single week, a small, consistent effort every single week. And we talk about this a lot at our events and, you know, podcast and even face-to-face, that small efforts over time add up to big results. The problem that I see in general is that a lot of people, what they do is they get super motivated and they give big bursts of effort over short periods of time rather than give small bite-sized efforts each and every week. And it probably sounds like crazy sometimes if you really think about it, but like the smaller bite-sized efforts that are consistent over time yield much bigger results. Because unless you're going to start spending marketing dollars to find these opportunities, or if you're going to start prospecting, calling, texting, door knocking, leaving flyers, like unless you're going to spend more than like a couple hours a week, the most important thing is to take advantage of the opportunities that are kind of right in front of you. I mean, that's what this episode, that's what this whole presentation was all about. Just taking advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you to find the 2 or 4 deals per year that are right in your lap, not to miss them. But if you're not ready for the opportunity, if you've given this big Herculean effort and then all of a sudden you're not thinking about the stuff on a day-to-day basis, you're going to end up, you know, missing the boat. It's why I'm so adamant, and I always share these stats, that 80 to 85% of all the agents that bring me deals are in my Inner Circle program, right? Why is that the case? Well, because they're on a monthly call with me. One monthly call, right? You're on the monthly call. You're being reminded consistently, hey, I need to look for deals. Hey, I need to look for deals. Hey, I'm seeing other people find deals. Hey, I'm seeing other people find deals. And just that surrounding yourself, the saying you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with, it's true, right? You get around other people that are doing this, now you start to do it because it doesn't take a Herculean effort. And as part of being in the Inner Circle program, we do teach people how to be more proactive. Yeah, some people want to do more than 2 or 3 of these in a year. But what I'm talking about today isn't doing 10 of these. It's not doing 5 of these. It's just doing the ones that are kind of right in front of you. If you want to find out more about partnering with us, if you want to find out more about our Inner Circle program, if you want to find out more about what types of properties we're looking for or how we work with agents, make sure that you jump on one of our upcoming calls at www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. Again, that's www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. Each and every week, we do one of these calls. They are completely live. I stay on these calls until all the questions get answered. We've been averaging 40 to 50 people every single week on these calls. It's for people that are either interested in the partnership program or maybe already know all about it, but they just want to make sure that they find more deals. So we teach and train on that call on how to find more deals, how to be more proactive, etc. But I hope that you guys jump on one of those upcoming calls. Again, that's www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. As always, you guys can always reach out to me. If you have a deal, if you ever come across a deal, the easiest way to get in contact with me is to send me a message on my Facebook account. And the Facebook account that I use is my Tommy Caffarella account. So in order to make sure I get the message, make sure you follow me or send me a friend request, because otherwise, if you send me a message, it's going to go into my spam. So I love to, communicate with and talk to as many of people in our audience as possible. This program is a real win-win for me. Like, we've done a bunch of deals, and they've been very profitable deals. They've actually been more profitable than the deals that I typically come across for a variety of different reasons. So I hope that you guys follow me on my Tommy Caffarella Facebook page. We'll be back, again next week with another episode. And good luck to everybody. This model, this agent investor model, it's absolutely worth it. Don't sleep on it. Don't just keep trying to sell houses. It's very, very tough to get financially free just by selling houses. Sell houses for a living, do the fix and flips on your own or to partner with us to get big chunks of income. And most importantly, get those down payments to invest in assets or other people's syndications. All right, guys, thank you for